This video is brought to you by Vessi. Snowflake the White Gorilla. One of the most uncomfortable and tone-deaf movies I've ever seen. Why? Oh, let me tell you. The movie is a fictional interpretation about an actual gorilla named Snowflake. He was the only known albino gorilla in the world. That's really all I gotta say about him. But for some reason, the folks who made this movie were like, what if we made this film about Snowflake being discriminated against by other gorillas for being white? And you know what? Hold up. Let's make a terrible English dub for this movie too, where Snowflake's a girl. And we'll get Ariana Grande to voice the character for some reason, even though that's painfully ironic. And you know what? Screw it. David Spade's in the movie as a red panda.
She wants to be black, you moron. Ow. It's actually not uncommon in teenagers.
I had to pause the movie multiple times just to laugh at how dumb it is and audibly ask myself, what were they thinking? Over and over again. Why is this English dub so bad and feels more like a poorly dubbed kung fu movie?
That's not nice. Hey,
He's gonna kill her! Get him out of here! What are you looking at, you crazy monster?
Why is the editing so jarring and abrupt?
What's that weird book?
Wendy, you're not really the bestest of character. I mean, you got us in quite a bind here.
Why is there a witch in this movie? And why does the red panda want to hook up with her?
What's the matter? You never seen a cute witch before?
I immediately regret saying I regret coming here.
This film is the definition of absurdity, and the English dub just makes it so much worse. Clearly, none of the voice actors gave a damn and just wanted to get a paycheck. But Ariana Grande? Her as the titular character with the subject matter of this movie? You pick her? And even more surprising, she said yes? Oh my God. Strap in, folks. This one might actually cause some psychic damage.
So, did you just call me daddy?
I guess I did.
I mean, this movie's bringing up like KFC, Red Lobster, Donkey Kong. What's with all the references?
Help!
Let me out!
We've been eaten by a giant lobster! Which is strange because we were nowhere near the Red Lobster.
What's with you and lobsters?
Yeah.
Are they like end-movie sponsors? Then why aren't they mentioning the best sponsor of all? Vessi Footwear. Yeah, I did it again. I gotcha. Don't worry, Snowflake. You can at least choose the colors of your shoes.
She wants black, you moron.
All right, so I legit love these shoes and I bring them everywhere. To the airport, to the city, to the desert. Hell, I even wore a pair when I jumped out of a plane. I went skydiving last year and look at my dumb face falling like 14,000 feet in the air. But hey, at least my shoes look cool.
I jumped out of a freaking plane in my Vessis.
For me, I'm rocking the men's weekend Vessis in asphalt black. They're comfortable, lightweight, breathable, and look stylish as hell. Not to mention that Vessis are 100% waterproof. Rain, puddles? Ha! No problem. Vessis are made from Dymatex, which is a dual climate knit material that keeps you cool in the summer and warm in the cold weather. So I highly recommend Vessis. They are my go-to shoes right by my door. Hit up the description down below and go to vessi.com/saberspark. And use my code for 15% off your entire order. You know, maybe if Snowflake had a pair of Vessis, she would have been cool enough to avoid hanging out with David Spade.
Now, find the milk. Keep your eye out for lactating bovine.
Like I already said, Snowflake was an actual albino gorilla, and the only one that we know to have existed. Born in 1964 and saved from poachers, the young gorilla was rescued and brought to the Barcelona Zoo in Spain. By the way, this context, it helps, so I'm gonna do it. He lived there until his death in 2003 and died due to skin cancer. He lived a good life, had a bunch of kids, had some grandkids, though none of them were albino like him, but they carry the recessive gene. So, sequel maybe? All in all, the actual Snowflake was scientifically fascinating, and he was a celebrity in Barcelona and the natural world. Enough for a bunch of companies to rally together years later and make a movie about him. Oh no, Lionsgate! That's a bad start. The original production for Snowflake was helmed by a production team and cast that were primarily from Spain. This is their celebrity, their story. Makes sense and innocent enough. Though I gotta say, this quote from the producer who came up with the idea, Julio Fernandez, he said the following: "One night I dreamed that thousands of people came to Barcelona to buy Snowflake figurines because it brought good luck. And when I woke up, I said to myself, why don't we do that film?" Inspirational, right? So I guess it was about the money after all. Which, by the way, I think this movie broke even with its budget. It made $6 million worldwide and cost around 5 million euros to make, so not that great of a return. The film itself was a combination of mostly live-action filming with 3D animation masked over it. Kind of like Disney's Dinosaur, but much, much worse. But the animation is nothing compared to the atrocities of the English dub of this movie.
Want a banana?
He'll never be one of us.
No, I mean the other English dub.
Here you go. You want a banana?
I don't like you.
Yes, for some reason, there are two dubs. One with a bunch of lesser-known voice actors, and then another one in 2013 with a cast that obviously was selected for their star power. Christopher Lloyd, David Spade, Ariana Grande, and Keith David. Oh wait, hold on, they got the Arbiter in this? Bro, why are you here?
Your kind never believed in the promise of the sacred ring.
I do two things, eat bananas and kick butt. Looks like we're almost out of bananas.
Here's something else that is just wild to me. They brought on 4 writers to make an English version of the script for their dub. So for all I know, the Spanish version of Snowflake, which I did not watch, it's also called Copito de Nieve, might actually make more sense. The Spanish version is 6 minutes longer, so that might make all the difference? I don't know. I doubt it. Nothing will save this movie. A movie about a white gorilla being picked on for the color of her fur. How a witch is the only one who can save her by using a bottle of magic to change Snowflake's fur? A movie that took aim at a particular message and did so in a very tone-deaf way. And you want to know what that theme is, folks?
Racism.
Yeah. Oh, you said it right there.
Okay, so I know I already mentioned what this movie is about, but now I must drag you all into the realm of soul-crushing detail. Why? Well, because I want you all to suffer with me, and also this movie is hilariously bad. For example, it starts off with David Spade narrating about Snowflake being unique, how she was rejected by other gorillas and was captured by humans. And how does he relay this? With a southern drawl voice out of nowhere. It pivots back and forth. He's like, that there is a southern drawl kind of voice, and that there gorilla, well, you know what they say, if you ain't with it, you must have quit it.
You see, on the Planet of the Apes, if they don't like the cut of your jib, well, I said, you got problems, son.
I sit down, Holly!
It's like Foghorn Leghorn or the lawyer from B-Movie. And he does this back and forth, doesn't stick with it, comes back to it. I was thinking is this the voice of the character later on in the film? No, it's not. It just never comes back to it. What? So, Snowflake gets captured and, from what I can tell, bought by a family who just gives this gorilla to their daughter. You would think that the movie would give us some context and explain that the father works at the zoo, but they don't really say. I mean, based on appearances and dialogue, the parents just got their daughter a pet gorilla because why not? Also, the ADR in this film, terrible, awful. The voices talk over each other all the time. It honestly reminds me of Kung Pao, Enter the Fist.
Wendy, come here.
Wendy,
I've been racking my brain trying to get her to
this.
come out. Maybe you can think of something. She's still a little nervous.
I implore you to reconsider.
So time goes on, and Snowflake has to move to the zoo to live, and also becomes a local celebrity. Then the villain of the movie just shows up, out of nowhere, with zero explanation of who he is and what he's about. From what I can tell, the guy's rich, and he values animal trophies. To keep on display? You would think to keep on display. No, not really. It's much dumber than that, actually.
Yes, the recipe for eternal life.
Here's something weird I noticed while watching the movie. The Spanish version had Snowflake as a boy, because the actual Snowflake in real life was a boy. But the English dub here changed Snowflake to a girl, which the movie mentions over and over again, just to remind you.
Or we could go play cowboys and Indians. Is that your favorite?
No, I'm a girl.
But here's the thing. Snowflake, in the Spanish version, has a love interest who was originally designed to be a girly-looking gorilla, with like a smaller frame and long, long eyelashes. So what does the movie do? They make that character a boy.
Elvis. Huh?
The boy gorilla, whose name I think is Elvis, has an older sister named Petunia and a dad named Anvil. The dad is like super prejudiced towards Snowflake and is like, "You're not normal. You'll never survive in here. My dude, you're in a zoo. You're fine." Snowflake meets this red panda voiced by David Spade, who is super annoying and likes to do meditation, talks about teleportation, talks about lactation, and loves lobsters. I'm not joking. That's true. And I don't know why that's a thing, but you know, so it is. And again, the Southern voice, nowhere to be heard. So I'm like just that much more confused now.
Point is, I'm a cat, a cute little kitty cat.
The next day at the zoo, some pamphlets about a witch doctor who can like fix your problems like flies in the air, and Snowflake grabs one and can apparently read, and then is like, "Oh my god, my white fur is a curse, and this witch is the only one who could fix me, and I'm gonna escape the zoo to find her." Yeah. So Snowflake and the red panda take off to go find the witch. And the little girl from the start is like, "Oh no, I lost Snowflake, I gotta go find her." And there's this boy who joins her who looks like a kid version of Tobey Maguire, and he's also like obsessed with the girl. Like uncomfortably so. Speaking of uncomfortable, the villain shows up with his creepy van and tries to lure the kids into it with like some of the weirdest dialogue ever recorded.
Thank you very much. Your chariot awaits, my sweet. Watch your step.
Thanks.
Stranger danger!
Next, we see a Snowflake fursuiter, a witch wearing a mask and revealing that she's kind of hot, and then Snowflake getting a potion that turns things black. You know, you could have just gone to the store to buy some black dye, but yeah, let's go to the witch instead. But oh no! The villain shows up and steals Snowflake away and straps her down to his murder table. And the kids run to the rescue, but get stuck in a freezer and scream out about like the oxygen levels. What? Bro, oxygen what? You're freezing. What does oxygen have to do with this? And by the way, they freeze fast. Look at her. It's like 1 minute and there's icicles on her dumb face. So the boy takes a sausage, breaks open the window. He's like, "I did it." The red panda opens the door anyway, so it didn't even matter. And then the trio go to free Snowflake, try to escape the house. They don't know how door handles work. They're like, "Oh no, we're locked in." They run up the stairs. There's a bucket of glue there for some reason. They dump it on the stairs. Oh no, now they're stuck up the stairs because the villain's downstairs with Snowflake. The villain smacks Snowflake with a shovel, and then the bad guy falls down on the staircase. They take off. The bad guy then runs into a room and falls into a foldable bed and gets smushed. And at the end of all that, he gets dragged on television.
Which in gorilla means you're such a baby. Why don't you go cry like a baby, you big baby?
And yeah, that's kind of the movie, guys. Snowflake does not use the potion, and at the end is like, "Hey."
Wait a minute. I'm white.
Also, this movie never establishes whether or not the animals can talk to the humans, but hey, doesn't matter. Sometimes the animals can, sometimes they can't. Screw you. Also, I love how at the end, the parents are like, "Oh no, you were gone. We were so worried for you. We looked everywhere." You did not. No, you did not. You didn't even leave the house. Y'all are full of crap. And of course, what animated movie finale is complete without a dance number and hinting at a sequel? The audacity of this movie.
But But I can't tell you too much because that'd ruin the sequel.
Yeah.
What I can tell you is, hey, what's the big idea? I wasn't finished with my... what's the use?
Overall, this movie is such a hot mess and never should have been made, or at least with such a tone-deaf story. The animation is not good, but I wouldn't say it's terrible either. Definitely lots of weird interactions with the actors and environment with the animated characters and wonky physics. But the designs of the characters aren't necessarily bad. I also know they went the live action route to save money, so I don't want to give them too much credit. But the ADR, like dubbing, the voice acting, oh, awful. Just hilariously bad. Poor acting across the board, though I gotta say, I love how Christopher Lloyd is just hamming it up. He was like, hey, listen, I'll voice this. You get one recording, one take. I gotta go record another project here called Food Fight, so let's make this fast.
You must be Leonard, the manager. I'm your new Brand X representative.
But it's the story that blows my mind the most. Who thought that this was a good idea? To pick this setting, and these characters, and this message, and Ariana Grande to convey your story about discrimination? It just comes across as insincere and awkward. I want to be black. Better rub some dirt on me or go to a witch doctor.
I guess maybe I am a freak.
What? Did anybody read the script? Did anybody say, this might be a bad idea, let's rethink this? Kids can and should be able to watch movies and shows with themes about prejudice and how unfortunately people are judged for the color of their skin. Static Shock, for example, has a great episode about that. And hell, Zootopia, they ace that message. But a movie about a white gorilla voiced by Ariana Grande lamenting about being judged by a black gorilla voiced by Keith David? Not the best call, movie. And maybe you should not have David Spade quote MLK in your movie.
Woo, free at last, free at last. Lord almighty, I'm free at last.
I don't care if I clipped, I'm just that angry. All in all, I don't think any decision for the production or casting of this movie was intentionally made in a malicious or deliberately warped manner. I just think that the film is just that ignorant or that stupid. Hey, maybe both. But I think the more important lesson of this movie is that you should never call anyone daddy, and to never get in a van with a guy being dubbed by Christopher Lloyd.
I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, kiddies, I know you, girlie. I'm gonna drive you anywhere you want. I mean, hey, it's cool. I owe you one.